It's Margaret Skype, and in today's video we are going to cover a topic that I like to talk about. It's the handmade jewelry that I often talk about in my videos. Not all jewelry is the same. Take a look at the ring here. Let me bring it up close so you can really enjoy the little intricate details on this. This ring was made from a whole piece of gold. This was not casting, this was not design, wax. This was literally made out of gold. And you can see that the back of the ring is slightly different in a sense that when a person makes this whole back by hand, you can see that some of the design that the designer was trying to carve out on one side is almost the same as the other side, but not 100%. Why am I making this video? I had some clients last week that have enjoyed my video about mass production, custom, and handmade jewelry. If you haven't watched that video, it's phenomenal. It's gonna be right here. They came back with questions like, Rita, how do we identify a ring that's handmade? And although a lot of the times it is hard, especially if the ring is super simple, like a 3-stone ring or a solitaire, with rings that are more complex, like this one here, you can identify that this was made by hand 100% by looking at the design. We are all human. There isn't a person out there that is like a machine. So it is almost impossible when making jewelry by hand to get identical both sides, whether it's pendant, a ring, or a bracelet. So if you look at the links really, really carefully, like if you turn the bracelet around, for example, and look at the links, you'll be able to see that the links, although almost identical, can still slightly be different or differentiate between each other, because you can imagine that someone is sitting there for months and trying to engrave these things and trying to cut them out. And obviously for a human being to get 20 links in a bracelet exactly the same is almost impossible. Same with this ring. You can see that the back has a design pattern, but the design pattern is slightly different on the right from the left. Whereas if the jewelry is not made by hand and it is also either designed on a computer or even carved out of wax, there's a lot less chance that it's asymmetrical. Why? Because if it's made on the computer in Matrix or Rhino, for example, you can just make one side and copy that side and mirror it to the other side. So your two sides will be identical, whether it's a ring or earrings, it doesn't matter what it is. Computer job allows you to mimic completely the other side. So it makes it a lot easier, and that's why a lot of people work with that, because you no longer need to guess and try to mimic the other side by hand or by carving out. You can just do it on the computer. In wax, however, you could still get sometimes differences in the design because the wax is also carved by hand and then casted in gold. However, in wax, it's easier to carve out than in a gold. This is a big difference that a lot of people don't understand. If you're making jewelry in wax and then casting it, it is still custom and handmade, but it is just slightly easier because the wax itself is easier to carve because it's softer, and it's just easier to carve out a design than it is in gold or platinum. This ring is in platinum, so this was carved in platinum, and it is going to be an absolutely stunning model. Once we do finish it for a customer, I will show it to you in finished piece. It's Margaret Skype, and I just wanted to make a short video explaining the handwork, wax work that we talked about in our other videos. If you want a more longer video on this topic, watch the video that's in the description below. I'll see you in the next video.